Country Shooter 98. Today we've got the Glock 34 Gen 3 back out for part 6 of transforming my Glock, and today it's all about the grip. If you've watched any of the previous videos, you know that I had Talon Grips, and I really liked them. I like the way they look, I like the way they feel, but I had a problem with this thumb part. Really was giving me a lot of problems from the factory from Glock. That little thumb rest they put in there, it was just a little too sharp. It was really digging into me. So I wanted to take some of that material off. In order to do so, I had to take the Talon Grips off, and then I was gonna buy some more, but I really been looking into it hard, stippling it and researching it, watching other videos about it and reading about it, and I just said, you know what, I'm going for it. So that's what I ended up doing. I didn't want to film the process because I probably had 3 hours of better sanding and then another 3.5 hours of stippling. I didn't want to bore nobody to death watching me do that. It saved me a bunch of money. You know, if you send one off, there's no telling somebody is going to charge you to stipple. Now, would they've done a better job than me? Probably, but I'm very happy with what I ended up with. But anyways, some of the things you're going to need to do this, you're going to need some sandpaper. You can Dremel if you have a Dremel. I have one. The only thing I used the Dremel for was my double undercut that I did as well, and that was just for this part. I just didn't think it was worth risking for a little bit of time to save going too far with the Dremel. So I just used 3 grits of sandpaper. You know, just started off with something really rough like an 80 and then went to the next finest, and then you want to finish it off with like a really fine 200 and I think 40 grit sandpaper is what I used to finish it off. So you're gonna need sandpaper. Dremel is handy to do this undercut, but you gotta be careful. And then for the double undercut, this was just sandpaper, and it took a little time. The other thing that comes in handy is having a vise. I don't guess you have to, but it really comes in handy to be able to lock it down in your vise and have both hands free. And then a carpenter's pencil comes in real handy as well to wrap your sandpaper in to where you can kind of get it in those hard places and save your fingers a little bit. There's a really good video out there on YouTube. The guy's channel is X Gear Peter. He's actually the one that I watched, and it gave me the confidence. Yeah, I think I can do this. So that's a good video. He shows you a lot of detail how to do it, and it's not boring. It would have been to watch me do it. So check that out if you're thinking about it. That's a good one to watch. There's several of them out there. But the other thing is I used a ruler and a marker to kind of trace my outline. It's a little harder than you think to keep that tool as straight as you think you can. So I was glad that I did that. I traced all my outline around my mag well, my lines here. I put a little square around the mag release on this side. I just thought it looked cool. But so that is something else I used. And then a lot of the videos will recommend you set up a fan to kind of blow the melting smell and a little bit of smoke coming off it. I didn't do that because, you know, I'm just stubborn, hard-headed and thought, hey, it won't be that bad. If I do it again, I will set me up a little fan here to be blowing it out my face. So that's something else you might want to consider. The wood burn, I used a wood burning pin. I got it off Amazon. It was a kit that comes with several different tips. It was 20 bucks. You can get just a pin from different places for a lot cheaper. You know, I've seen them. I don't know the quality of them. This one had an on-off switch, and it had where you can control the temperature, and it comes with, like I said, several different tips. I just thought it'd be cool for anything future projects outside of this, you know, just 20 bucks. So I saved myself a bunch of money doing it myself. It's just time. But if you're that into your gun that you're willing to go that far with it, time really isn't a problem. Just take your time and have fun. Don't get too impatient. If you feel yourself running out of patience, just stop and take a break. Even when you're stippling, I stopped, would go to the bathroom, I'd stop and get a Dr. Pepper, whatever, you know, because it is very tedious. But I'm very happy with the way it looks. I love the way it feels. Obviously, the deeper you go, the rougher it's going to be. I kind of just went by feel at first. I just did a couple little patches to see if that was good enough, and then once it was, I found my groove, and I just kind of knew the pressure to hold each time. But that's this side. I was really happy with it. You can see I went up so far to leave my pins exposed. And then here's the opposite side. And then I did a double undercut, and I stippled it too because I like the texture, and I put an index point on each side of the gun as well, right here, because that's about where my thumb lands. And then I did it for the other side for my left-handed buddies if they ever want to shoot it. So really happy with the way it turned out aesthetically and functionally. Really happy. It was a cool experience. First time I ever did it. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's just time consuming. It's just a tedious, time consuming thing, but I don't mind stuff like that when it's something I enjoy, and I really enjoy guns. So I hope y'all enjoyed it. There's one more video left. We're going to leash this beast in the next one and have some fun. Again, check out X Gear Peter for a stippling video. He does a really good job. It's not that bad. And I hope y'all enjoyed it. We'll see you next time. Thank you to all y'all who have been watching, have subscribed. If you like what you're watching, please hit the like button. Feel free to give me any input, any questions. I'll get right back with you, and we'll see you next time.